So this past weekend, Donald Trump sent out a fundraising email that told his supporters that, if they go forward with this trial, then all hell would break loose on Monday. He then, on Sunday evening, sent out a post to his supporters, and he told them, "See you tomorrow," because Donald Trump, more than anything, wanted to show up at that courtroom and be greeted by hundreds, if not thousands, of pro-Trump supporters outside the courtroom with their signs, shutting down the streets if they have to show their love for him. He wanted to go in there with that huge swell of support. And it never happened. All hell did not break loose on Monday. In total, Donald Trump had roughly 50 people show up throughout this whole week to show their support for him. In fact, there's actually been larger crowds of counter-protesters showing up to say that they hate Donald Trump. The press pool has been larger than the MAGA pool. There's more cameras out there than there are people supporting Donald Trump. And that makes him super duper sad. And here's the funniest part. It's not for a lack of trying. It's not because there wasn't any kind of organized effort to get people to show up and support Donald Trump. To the contrary, you had Andrew Giuliani show up. Failed gubernatorial candidate, but still son of Rudy Giuliani. He showed up on Monday with Laura Loomer, who of course had been trying to get Trump people to show up and show their support, and it didn't work. You got about 50 people. That's it. So here's what this tells me. Because Loomer is not a New York City resident. Loomer is down here in Florida. So she made the trip. She was willing to make the trip to show her support for Donald Trump. But apparently nobody else was. Andrew Giuliani just had to walk down the street, maybe take a subway or two, get an Uber to go down there. It's not like he had to sacrifice a lot to get up there. But Trump cannot draw the same level of support that he used to. That is a bad sign for Donald Trump. And look, I get that it's Manhattan and it's a blue area. There's more liberal people there than there are conservatives. Absolutely. But we have seen over the years, not recently by any stretch, but we have seen people travel across the country. Hell, the Stop the Steal rally. People traveled from all over the country to go and support Donald Trump. And more than 1,000 of them ended up in jail. So, yeah, it's harder to get the MAGA people to agree to all go to one place these days because they remember what happened the last time they all did that, right? It didn't really end well. There's people that are now going to spend the next, 8 to 15 years in jail because of that. So a lot of people are like, you know what? Probably not going to go there. The crowd may get a little rowdy. We may end up making bad decisions when we're all together. So I'm not going to show up and support this guy. And again, Trump wanted hordes of people outside of that courtroom. He wanted to know that the public not only supports him, but that they think this is a sham trial and they're not going to stand for it. But that didn't happen. And nothing this week has crushed Trump's ego more than walking into that courtroom and only seeing a handful of MAGA hats out there telling him that they love him. That's not enough for him, and I guarantee you it broke his heart.